Jake bounced on the balls of his feet. Today was the day, the grand finals of the go-kart championship. He dreamt of this moment, imagined the roar of the crowd, the smell of burning rubber. His stomach did a nervous flip-flop. Could he really do this? Could a 15-year-old beat seasoned racers twice his age? His dad clapped him on the back. "You got this, champ." His dad's confidence was contagious. Jake took a deep breath and squared his shoulders. He was ready. He was more than ready. He was pumped. Across the pit lane, Jake saw them, Kevin and his gang. They sneered and whispered behind their hands. It had been Kevin who'd spread rumors about Jake getting special treatment, about him not deserving his spot in the finals. Jealousy, Jake figured. Kevin caught Jake's eye and smirked. "Don't get your hopes up, little man," he called out. "This isn't kindergarten anymore." Jake just ignored him. He had more important things to worry about than Kevin's petty attempts to psych him out. The announcer's voice boomed over the loudspeaker, whipping the crowd into a frenzy. Jake pulled down his visor, the world shrinking to the space within his helmet. He gripped the steering wheel, feeling the familiar rumble of the engine beneath him. This was his element. This was where he came alive. The starting lights flashed from yellow to green. Jake slammed the pedal to the floor, the go-kart surging forward like a rocket. He was off, leaving Doubt and Kevin's taunts in his dust. The world became a blur of colour and speed. Jake navigated the twists and turns of the track with practiced ease, his go-kart a blur of motion. He could hear the roar of the crowd, but it was a distant hum drowned out by the rush of adrenaline coursing through his veins. He took a corner sharply, drifting expertly, the smell of burning rubber filling his nostrils. He could feel the eyes of the other racers on him, their astonishment palpable. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. He was supposed to be an easy target, a rookie mistake waiting to happen. Section 5, Doubters Beware. Lap after lap, Jake held his lead. He could see the doubt in the eyes of his competitors, their initial surprise giving way to grudging respect. They had underestimated him, dismissed him because of his age. Big mistake. He wasn't just lucky, he was good, really good. He knew this track like the back of his hand, had spent hours studying every turn, every incline. He had poured his heart and soul into this, and it was paying off. In the final lap, his throat felt dry, his energy flagging. He reached for the water bottle his dad had given him, a strange red liquid sloshing inside. He hesitated for a second. It didn't look like water. "Trust me," his dad had said with a wink. He took a swig. It tasted like berries and something else he couldn't quite place. Whatever it was, it worked. A jolt of energy surged through him, erasing the fatigue. He pushed his go-kart harder, crossing the finish line in a blaze of glory. The crowd erupted. His dad was there, beaming, scooping him up in a bear hug. Reporters swarmed him, cameras flashing. He'd done it. He'd won the grand finals. Overnight, Jake became a local celebrity. His picture was in the newspaper, his story on the local news. At school, kids he'd never even spoken to high-fived him in the hallway. Girls who hadn't looked his way before giggled and blushed when he walked by. He was living the dream, basking in the glow of victory. Except for one thing. Kevin and his gang remained unimpressed. They huddled in their usual corner, muttering amongst themselves, their faces dark with suspicion. No way a kid like that could win fair and square, Kevin scoffed. They were sure there was something more to his win, some secret advantage he wasn't revealing. But what? Jake knew he'd won fair and square, but he also knew that Kevin wouldn't let it go. He was determined to find out the truth, even if it meant making Jake's life miserable in the process. The red drink, that had to be it. Jake knew it was more than just a weird-tasting energy drink. It had given him the extra boost he'd needed to win. But what was it? And where had his dad gotten it? And why was he being so secretive about it? One thing was certain, this was just the beginning. The grand finals were over, but the real race, the race to uncover the secret of the red drink, had just begun.